240,000 households. One letter, the 1st of June. Ireland now pays the highest electricity price in the European Union, 40% above the EU average, €480 more per year than our nearest European neighbours. They froze the prices all winter. They chose when to unfreeze them, and the timing was not accidental. Here's what the coverage missed. Your electricity bill is a leaking pipe, not a burst, a slow, controlled leak. Every year a different section gets patched, and the repair is charged back to you. Nobody fixes the source. What changed in June 2026 is that 3 separate patches landed at once. PrepayPower announced its increase on the 1st of May. Electricity up by 8.8%. Gas up by 10.6%. Effective from the 1st of June. 240,000 households. What the announcement did not say, and what the press coverage largely missed, is that PrepayPower had held a price freeze through the entire winter. So had Electric Ireland. So had Energy. Most other suppliers had already raised their prices months earlier. These 3 held. And the moment peak usage ended, the moment the coldest months were behind us, the freeze came off. That is not generosity. That is commercial timing. Take a family on a fixed income, in their 60s. They did not switch supplier last autumn because their provider was one of the 3 holding the freeze, cheaper than the market through December, January, February. They had no reason to move. Now the freeze is gone. Their bill reprices in June. They did not see it coming because they were never told it was temporary. That family is not unusual. That family is 240,000 households. Daragh Cassidy of bonkers.ie made the implication plain the day PrepayPower moved. Electric Ireland, the largest supplier in the country, serving close to 1.1 million residential customers, is expected to announce a similar increase within days or weeks. When Electric Ireland moves, this is no longer a story about 240,000 households. It is a story about every household in Ireland repriced before the end of June. Before we go further, quick pause. Drop the county or the city you are watching from into the comments. Galway, Limerick, Waterford, or are you watching from London or Chicago? Tell me the geography, because what is coming next is the number that changes this entire picture. But here is where the story takes a turn. 6th of May 2026, Eurostat confirmed Ireland as the most expensive electricity market in the European Union. 40.4 cent per kilowatt hour. The EU average, 28.96 cent per kilowatt hour. Ireland is number 1. Not second, not third, first. Germany, the country most people would assume leads this list, is second at 38.7 cent. Hungary pays 10.8 cent, less than 1/4 of the Irish rate, for the same electricity in the same union. The IMF stated this morning that Ireland's electricity infrastructure bottlenecks are an important impediment to investment and growth. That finding did not appear in a think piece or an opinion column. It landed in a formal Article 4 report, the same process the IMF used when it stood over Ireland's bailout in 2010. That €480 annual gap is the premium an Irish household pays simply for being connected to the Irish grid rather than the European average. For a larger home, electric heating, older insulation, a family of 4, that premium can exceed €900 per year. Not because of anything the household chose, because of where the pipe connects. Since 2020, Irish electricity bills have risen by 70%. 70 in 6 years. The energy credits introduced by the government offset approximately €450 per year for the average household. Those credits have now ended. No replacement has been announced. That support disappeared from the bill without a press conference, without a dull debate, without a single line of explanation on the statement. The pipe was leaking before June. June just made it visible. That is still only the surface. The real story is in the line nobody explains. According to available data, around 30% of every Irish electricity bill is now network transmission costs. Not energy, not generation, infrastructure. The cost of moving electricity from where it is produced to where you need it. That share is among the highest such proportions in Europe. In 2026 alone, network charges added €101 to the average household bill. Not because electricity became harder to generate, because the grid is being rebuilt, and the rebuild is being charged to you. Here is what an actual civil servant looking at this file would see. Ireland generates enough wind energy on a good day to power the country. Wholesale electricity prices drop sharply. The technology is working. The generation is there. But the grid cannot carry that cheap electricity efficiently, from where it is made, across the country, to where the population actually is. The cheap energy exists. Irish households cannot reach it. They pay for the grid's failure to carry it on every bill, every month, in that transmission column. The pipe is leaking at the connection point between the wind turbine and the socket. And it gets worse. Data centres now consume close to 1/5 of Ireland's national electricity. €18.9 billion, running through 2030, is being built in significant part to accommodate that demand. Irish households are funding it through regulated charges. The facilities driving the demand are not paying a proportionate share through the same mechanism, which is technically legal, which is technically the problem. Now take the full picture together. Add the loss of the energy credit, €450 gone, to the June repricing across electricity and gas, €338 for PrepayPower customers, with the rest of the market expected to follow. That is a swing of nearly €800 per year compared to 12 months ago for the average household. Before Electric Ireland moves, before the second wave forecast for the fourth quarter of 2026, the Minister for Energy warned in April that 4 to 9% increases are coming across all suppliers, and he said that before gas wholesale costs rose 40 to 50% above pre-war levels. Nearly €800 in 1 year for a household on a fixed income. That is not a statistic. That is the difference between managing and not managing. If this is the kind of analysis missing from your feed, hit subscribe. No spin, no hysteria. Now, back to where this lands. For those watching from the UK or the US, ring home. Ask about the last bill. Not about politics, just the bill. That conversation will tell you more about where Ireland is right now than any headline. The leaking pipe has not been fixed. The overhaul will not be complete until 2030. Between now and then, every household in Ireland will fund the infrastructure, absorb the credit removal, and pay the wholesale premium of a country still generating half its electricity from gas, while wind turbines turn in every county and the cheap electricity goes nowhere useful. Electric Ireland has not announced yet. Those 1.1 million households get the letter. The Dáil summer recess begins in July. The window for any political response is open. It will not stay open long. The next bill arrives in June. The decision about what comes after it has already been made. It was made without you.